What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over with you guys my 2023 vision board, along with some other goals that I had written down in my handy dandy notebook. One of my favorite things about the end of the year is seeing people reveal what their goals were for the year, what they accomplished, if they did it visually, if they had it written down. I love seeing all types of things like that. I feel like it's very motivating when you're getting ready to go into the next year. So I figure I want to do something like that on my channel as well. If you saw my video last year, I'll link it above. It was me showing you guys how I create my vision boards because I do it digitally, and I set it as my lock screen throughout the year. But you'll know that I also did not reveal what my 2023 vision board was because I like to keep my goals to myself for the year. And then at the end of the year, once I've kind of had my own time to evaluate everything and figure out how I want to go into the next year, then I'll kind of share what I had down on my vision board. So if you're interested in seeing what my 2023 consisted of, then keep on watching. My vision board for 2023. I know it's small. I'll be sure to zoom in so that you guys can see everything that I'm talking about. So some of the items on here, not every single picture is indicative of an individual goal. Some pictures are related to the same goal. Some pictures are just more motivational, fillers, things like that. So I will also go over some goals that I have written down. I always write my goals down at the beginning of the year at an actual notebook. And then the vision board is just a supplemental visual component of it that I, like I said, set as my lock screen on my phone. That way I subconsciously see it every day, whereas the notebook contains the specific goals and numbers and things like that. So I'll just hop around and explain some of the things to you guys, and then we'll move on to the notebook. All right, so some of the first pictures that I'm going to point out are like the self-care pictures. You'll see some that regarding mental health that are sayings, very visual, and those are just to make sure that you're taking time, reminding yourself that that is important, your body, your mind, everything like that, making sure that you're doing things that you like to do that bring you relaxation, anything of that nature. So those were just reminders for me to make sure that it was in the back of my mind throughout the year and that I was taking time for myself and doing what I want to do. Then there's a couple of financial pictures on here, such as a paycheck breakdown. I want to budget more in 2023. I want to budget all year. I didn't do it, so that'll be getting carried over into 2024. And then there's things like traveling, a stack of money, a savings chart. And I can say that I was able to do that. I saved a lot more money than what I have here as my goal, so that was very fun. I was able to travel. I traveled for work, which didn't cost much money for me, but then I also traveled for leisure. So I think this year I traveled the most that I've ever traveled, like in a single year, I would say. So that was really cool to get done. I even opened a high yield savings account, and that is like the best thing I've ever done. I opened my account in June or July of last year. It was my first time actually learning about it last year, and I was able to make a lot of money in interest. I'll post a screenshot here, and I think that everyone should have a high yield savings account. So if you've been thinking about it, you're on the fence about it, this is my sign to you to go get a high yield savings account. Some other things you'll see here are related to education. As you guys know, I took some classes last year. I stopped about midway because I knew I had a lot of travel coming up and some other things going on, so I did stop. I'll be picking back up this year, but I did want to make sure that I was getting like majority A's where I could be. So that's what that was, and making sure that I took time to study and accurately dedicate time to my studies if that's something that I was going to do. A good motivator is paying out of pocket. It is very motivating to want to do your best as you can, and that way you're getting your money's worth in the class. I was able to get, I think I took 2 or 3 classes. I don't want to hype myself up and say 3 if it was only 2, but whatever classes I did take, I did get, I believe, an A and a B, or 2 A's and a B, I don't remember. I'll post it on the screen. So that was very exciting for me since I've been out of school for a while. So it's nice to know that I am able to kind of tap back into that type of mentality and be able to get good grades essentially. Okay, some other things we have on here is working out pictures. So I did want to work out more, get more active. I do think it's important to incorporate physical activity into your daily life and make it a habit, not necessarily even just going to the gym. I just want to be active. So that's what those pictures are showing here. I did join a Pilates club, house, I don't know what to call it. And I do Pilates I would say at least once a week now. That is my membership. It's Reformer Pilates 5 times a month, which averages out to about once a week and then like an extra class. So that's what I've been doing. And then next year I do want to incorporate more. So more physical activity, making sure I'm getting my steps in, things like that. So I am proud of myself for finding Pilates, sticking to it, and carrying it over to the new year. I can post the amount of classes I took on here. Don't judge me if it's not what you think it's going to be. I traveled for a month for work, not including my leisure travels, but I traveled for a month at a time for work. Then I had a surgery and I couldn't be physical active for about 6, 7, 8 weeks, I believe. And then by the time I got cleared for physical activity, it was like holiday season, so I literally just picked back up a couple weeks ago. So next year this number is going to be higher. Hold me to it. Something is better than nothing, and that kind of is like indicative of the saying that I have directly in the middle of my vision board, which is slow progress is better than no progress. Stay positive and never give up. I always put some type of quote in the middle of my vision board, so that was my quote from this past year. So the picture in the top left corner, that it might be a little hard to see or like figure out what it is, but it's like a tattoo needle in the ink. I wanted to get a tattoo last year because I hadn't gotten a tattoo in years, and I kind of was really ambitious and I got a palm tattoo. I don't know if I've talked about it on YouTube. I have a video on my TikTok. I just happened to come across palm tattoos on Instagram, and I'm just doing all this digging, but it seemed like no one really in the States did palm tattoos or like specialized in palm tattoos. And then I was on TikTok. I saw this girl who had a palm tattoo. I asked her who did it for her. She told me the name, went to the person's page on Instagram, found out they lived in California, but luckily for me, they were going to be in Baltimore for like 3 days tattooing at a shop in Baltimore. The timing was perfect, so I booked the appointment. I believe I got this done June 2nd, and it's still pretty good. There's like no fading. It goes a little bit on the back of my hand, and it's one of my favorite tattoos. The pain is kind of indescribable. It just hurts a lot, like a lot. So yeah. Another kind of hard to tell picture, if you don't know what you're looking at, is the bottom left. It is a picture of a Invisalign case with Invisalign in it, and that was because I want to start Invisalign last year. I actually was not going to start it last year. I had planned to start it this year because just of the cost of Invisalign, and I was going to start in January, but then they had a end of the year sale and it was pretty good combined with my insurance. So I just went ahead, bit the bullet, and I paid for my Invisalign. And you can see in the picture, because my favorite color is pink, which is why I chose this, plus it also fits with the vibe of my, you know, vision board. I was able to also get the same pink little Invisalign case. It's super cute. It's not hard to get a pink case, but I enjoyed getting something directly on my vision board, and I have 39 trays and I'm only on tray 3. And the last pictures that we have on here are a picture of a townhome and picture of like the inside of a home. And so last year I definitely wanted to kind of prioritize and plan out how I was going to start saving for a down payment on a home. And so I put these pictures on here to kind of remind me of like what the end goal would be. Do you know what I mean? And just kind of like what I was looking for. I also want to put it on there because I want to make an effort to go look at some houses at some point, just to get inspiration, just to be a little bit more motivated and kind of, you know, start putting together a list of things that I like, things that I don't like, what I want, don't want, and things like that. So that's what those pictures were for, and I really enjoyed having it on there. So I did go look at some houses this year. I went with my mom. So I was looking at houses and I ended up actually purchasing a house last year. Super unexpected. It was crazy because I'm like, it's crazy that it's on my vision board, but like it wasn't even like I'm gonna get this done this year. It's just here for motivation because next year you're gonna do this. And I ended up purchasing a new build home. It's currently being built. It'll be done in about 8 more weeks, I would say. So that was crazy for me. That was probably one of the highlights of my year. That is what I will be looking forward to in the next couple of weeks. I'm super excited to move in and start decorating and just making it a home. All right, now I have my handy dandy notebook. And I'm just gonna go over some, I guess, like notable goals. Not too many on this page because this page is kind of long and my camera's dying. So I gotta hurry up and, you know, get this done. So we're just gonna go over the notable things for today. So one of the things that I have in here is doing Pilates. I just discussed with you guys, I do Pilates. I have 5 classes a month. So I go about once a week, and like, obviously there's a 5th class. So I go twice a week once. Another goal that I had was to decrease my debt and pay off 1 or 2 credit cards. And I basically, once I was accomplishing things, I came back to my notebook and wrote the date down. So on June 24th, I paid off 3 of my credit cards. As far as like the decreasing debt part, obviously the credit cards play a part into that, but I also paid my car off on December 4th, and I was able to also get a new car. So right now I have both cars. One's paid off, obviously. One is technically they're both paid off. So long story short, they're technically both paid off. I'm going to be selling my old one. Prepare to buy a townhome, save for down payment, and like I already discussed with you guys, we did that. I wanted to earn a raise at work, at least 6%, and a possible promotion. And then in June of last year, I got a promotion to scientist. I made a video about it. And I also got a 13.5% raise. So higher number than what I was hoping for. So that's always a good thing. And then the last like 2 or 3 that I'll go over, I wanted to travel more and experience new things. So some of the things that I did last year included traveling to Germany in January. I went for work. I spent a week there. I'm not sure if I made a video. No, scratch that. I'm not sure if I ever uploaded the video of me going to Germany. So maybe I will upload that if you guys want to see it. I really can't remember. Did I upload? I don't remember if I uploaded it, but I went to Germany last year for work for a week. And then in July, I went to Texas, once for work, once for personal. And I was there for a month for work purposes, a weekend for personal. And then I also went to London in August of last year. I went with for a friend's engagement. So that was fun to do. I had never been to London before. And that was in I believe the end of July, I believe, is when I went to London. That's another thing where I definitely filmed some content. I just never uploaded it. So that will go up at some point this year. And then experience new things. I guess one notable thing is I went to a networking event in Baltimore for different biotech companies and things like that. And I went by myself, but my work was able to sponsor it, so I didn't have to pay out of pocket for it. And that was really fun. So that's something I want to do more of this year. For the most part this year, I paid off all of my debt except private student loans. I have private student loans, a lot of it. So that's not going away anytime soon. The whole like, you know, pausing payment plans and, you know, not paying, that does not apply to student loans. Our private student loans. I've been paying my private student loans for years now. It didn't stop with the whole COVID thing. So yeah, that's not going away anytime soon. Other than my private student loan, I am debt-free, and then next year obviously I'll have my house, so I won't be debt-free again. But yeah, I'm debt-free. That was more than I ever could have wanted going into 2024, so that was pretty cool. But that is all for this video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but hopefully you guys stick around. Hopefully you guys found it a little bit interesting to hear about what I did for 2023, because I would say pretty absent from YouTube in 2023, and I was posting very sporadically. But 2024, I plan to be back posting to my normal schedule, posting once a week. I want to pump out new videos for you guys and also continue to make financial advancements, and then just start exploring more in life as well. So if you have any notable goals that you accomplished in 2023 that you're proud of, no matter how big or small, drop them down in the comments. And if you see people dropping their goals in the comments, congratulate them for all that they did in 2023. 2023 was definitely also a rough year for me. Obviously, you don't hear about it when all I'm talking about is goals, but things were rough in 2023 as well. And everyone has rough time, has rough patches. Please be sure to spread kindness and congratulate each other on any goals that you accomplished this year. We'll do another wrap up next year. But until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.